All right, we're recording. Question, and this is because I'm relatively ignorant of the other classes' schedules. Do you know of any tests or things that are happening next Friday? Next Friday, so a week from today. Off the top of your head? Okay. The reason I ask, we do not have to do this, but I noticed there was one section in the homework where I said, oh, we'll just do it next chapter. If I squeezed it into this chapter, we could just get all of the topics done in one chapter, and that would push the test to next Friday.
What's the lesson?
It's a lesson on, boy, I'm trying to think of how to put this into 10 words or less. Basically making your own quadratic equations. Like, normally you have a quadratic equation, I say, give me a bunch of points on the graph. This is going backwards. I say, here's some points on the graph, find the equation. It's kind of using detective work to find out what the parabola was. And I have not taught you how to do it yet, so it should sound mysterious. Yeah.
If we don't do that, would our test be Wednesday?
Yes, correct. Good news? Want to think about it? Because I want to go through the practice test today anyway. You may have noticed there are a couple of questions on the practice test I found out to my horror that actually are from that section. They're from the, here are a bunch of points, find the original equation. So if we did the test on Wednesday, I would delete those questions off the test. Let me see which ones. I have your practice test out, and I'll tell you.
We had a senior visit with Mr. Howland.
Okay. Could have came in. We used 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, on Thursday.
Hurry up in there, please. Take out your practice test. Blah, 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 blah. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, it's, I was going to say this can't be the practice test. I opened chapter 4 by mistake. Got it. Like that would have been horrible. Okay. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Just a second. 20 is good. Oh, I deleted it anyway. Okay, that's fine. Hang on.
Wait, is there a staple?
Okay, never mind what I just said. So it's, if we did the last section, I would add a few new problems to the practice test and give you another practice test on Wednesday. So let me just catch people up, especially people that just showed up. At present, what we're going to be doing is we're planning to just review for the next few days, and then there would be another practice test you're probably doing groups, and then do the real test on Wednesday of next week. Have they followed me so far? Yes. Gentlemen, tuned in? Okay. I am proposing a counter idea, bless you, that if we've left one homework off, there's chapter 1H, homework 1H, which we have not done yet. If I included that in the chapter and just squeezed it in, that would push the test to Friday. Would you have any opinion on the matter? So it would either be chapter test Wednesday or chapter test Friday.
Can we do Friday? Just 'cause I don't know about everyone else, but like this whole time study.
But there's a whole other.
Well, I suppose one other thing I could do is I could, and by the way, people watching at home, feel free to fast forward. Of course, it's too late. By the time I told you to fast forward over it, you've already watched this. But I apologize, and you are, whenever you want to watch it again, you feel free to fast forward over this first 5 minutes. But I could give you a taste of what the last section is about, and you could make your decision whether you think it'd be.
So if we did a test on Friday, what would we become?
It would have that one extra section in it.
Yeah. I'm fine.
Tell you what, take out your notes. Let me give you a sample of what I'm talking about.
Why did I come to the school? It was Friday. I was sick all week. I didn't get it. Yeah, I know.
Go ahead and jot that down. Ahem. Jot this down. A parabola, down, with vertex 2, 5, passes through the point 4, negative 3. Find an equation for the parabola. So this, I'm basically just giving you some hints, and you have to do some detective work and go back and find the equation it came from. Quick reminder. You will need to have memorized 3 forms of a quadratic. There's a 4th one that's extra credit if you know it. That was some product form. But can somebody name me the 3 common ones? Name me one. Go. Vertex form. Can you give me the formula for that? Y equals what? That's right, go.
A.
Always starts with A. All of them start with A. And then parentheses.
X minus H.
Yes. Parentheses.
Plus K.
Squared.
Plus K.
Plus K. 2 things to note there. Well, 3. There's a height multiplier in front, always, 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 and that's A. H comma K is the vertex. And you must have a squared. Otherwise, it's not a parabola at all. It would be a line. Okay. While we're on it, can anybody tell me why? You pointed out that it was X minus H. There's actually a reason for that. Anybody know? Why not plus? I mean, I hate subtraction personally, but why is there a minus there? There's a reason that we've covered. Yeah.
Because input doesn't work the opposite of what you expect.
This is input, and it does the opposite of what you expect. We expected pluses everywhere. They turned to minus. Did I tell you about Mortimer babysitting story last year? Well, people who didn't have any, all right, I will inflict this on you too. Assume for the sake of argument, we're filming this, aren't we?
Stay on.
Holy I have to pick all my worst stories on film. Whatever, hi. So please don't send us the FBI, I'm a nice guy. So there's a story where you are babysitting a young tyke, I'd say his name is Mortimer. And he's like 2 or something like that. And he's cute and he's well behaved more or less. But he has this little quirk. He just loves to do the absolute opposite of what people tell him to do, just because they think it's hilarious. You could say, hey Mortimer, sit down, and he'll pop right up and stand. Mortimer, drink this water, and he'll pour it over his head or something. So let's just say you need to take Mortimer to the bathroom for reasons that I'm not going to get into details. And you say, Mortimer, yeah? Let's say the bathroom's that way, and toward the music room. And then the kitchen is toward that door. Okay. So bathroom that way, kitchen that way. Got that? Okay. Said Mortimer? Yeah. Go to the bathroom. Okay. And he starts walking that way. No. Mortimer. Bathroom. That way. Seriously, we need this. Okay. No. So now we have 2 choices ultimately. I could either try and pick Mortimer up and physically carry him to the bathroom. That has 2 problems. Number 1, he'd probably gonna have a meltdown. Number 2, ew. So there's got to be another way. You can do it mathematically. So, Mortimer? Yeah. Go to the bathroom. Okay. Thank you very much. In other words, tell him to do the opposite ahead of time, and he'll do exactly what you want. Here, I wanted the vertex to be positive h, positive k. But the input is always going to say, okay, backwards. I sent it backwards in the first place. So it's gonna go to the right, just what I wanted to originally. So anytime you have parentheses with interesting stuff, gentlemen, then this stuff inside is gonna be the input. You have to compensate for it doing the opposite of what you expect, which is exactly what it is. So, not such a problem out here. It's output, so it is gonna be plus. Can somebody give me the next form, by the way, for a quadratic? Go. No. Standard form. What's the equation for that?
Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c.
Correct. Ax squared plus bx plus c. Please do not confuse this with a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That would be called the Pythagorean theorem from class. It's also not ax plus by equals c. That's standard form of a line, which is a lot like it. This does not give you anything of any real interest. It's just a, b, and c. Anybody name the third one? Go. X-intercept form. Can you rattle that off for me?
Y equals a parenthesis x minus x1
Okay.
parenthesis x minus x2.
Good. And then what are x1 and x2?
The x-intercepts.
Yeah, x1 and x2 are the x-intercepts. Those are the three forms that we need to memorize for a quadratic. For two reasons. Number one, we need to be able to, well, three. If I ask you for them on the test, you'll be able to recite them. Two, if I give them to you in the form, you'll know how to graph them. And three, if I give you some ammo, so to speak, and I say build your own equation, you get to pick whichever form you want, and I'll give you a hint that usually one of the three is easier than the others, depending on the data. Now, would anybody have a suspicion as to which form would be easiest to use in this particular case? Yeah.
Vertex form?
Why would you say vertex form?
Gives us a vertex.
They give you a vertex. In other words, if I gave you the two x-intercepts, guess what form would be best to use? X-intercept form. And if I gave you absolute garbage, just like 3 points out in the middle of nowhere, guess which form would probably be best? Standard. Yeah. That's a little rough. That I might actually put off to next week, because that's just tedious. But can somebody give me the form for vertex form again? Raise your hand if you know. Mary Beth, what's vertex form? A parentheses. Okay. Sorry, that was so horrible. That was a really obscure hint. X minus h squared. Very good. Now, here's the equation. Y equals a parentheses x minus h parentheses squared plus k. Now, help me out here. Spencer, what are h comma k? The vertex. Did they give us the vertex?
Yeah.
Plug them in for me.
A or y equals a parentheses.
Okay. I'm just gonna do a parentheses what?
2 minus, or x minus.
I'll put the, well, I'll say the x for a second, but minus 3. And then, what do I put here? Plus what?
Wait.
Wait, why is it minus 3? Isn't it 2 comma 5?
Is 2 comma 5?
Oh, heavens to murder.
My bad.
Sorry.
I'm freaking
Yeah,
out.
fine. That's my fault, sorry. My bad. So, okay, anyway, and then plus what?
Plus 2.
What am I?
I think. I'm sorry.
Now that was me. I rarely goof up twice in a row in 5 seconds.
And it's
Mark
on
the
the
calendar on that. So yeah, it's supposed to be 2, and
And
it's
then
supposed to be
minus
5. Great, now I just violated the fifth again. Now, what, that was totally my fault. What is this? It's some sort of random point. Can somebody tell me what letters those probably are? Yeah. Those are x and y. This is h comma k, and this is x, y. Plug them in temporarily. Go.
So negative 3,
Yep.
and y, and then 4.
It was a parentheses 4. Write that down if I forgot to screw. Who said that down? What's the only letter we do not have yet? We do not have A. By the way, This is temporary. I'm plugging these in. This is called a temporary plug-in. Just to find A. Because I want the original equation back when I'm done. Because it's supposed to be like y equals, 3 parentheses x minus 5 parentheses. There's supposed to be an x there and a y there when you're done. We're not technically supposed to leave numbers here as x and y forever. We're doing this just for 30 seconds, just long enough to get A. Can somebody tell me how to simplify and solve that thing? Nick, help me out. What would you do first?
Parentheses.
Definitely. What would you get?
2 squared.
Yeah, this is 2, and 2 squared is?
4.
Yeah, let me rewrite this. Negative 3 is equal to a times 4 plus 5. Keep simplifying. What is this? What's a times 4?
4a.
4a plus 5. That's the most you can do for simplification. Austin, take over. Get a by itself. Subtract 5, okay.
Negative 8 equals 4a.
Hang on a second. 4a equals negative 8. Go ahead. Divide by 4. What do you get? A equals negative 2. Can everybody read down here? It's kind of low. A equals negative 2. That's useful. We just found the height multiplier of this parabola. They're half done. Now remember, I want the y to be there, I want the x to be there, but I want a to be a number, h to be a number, and k to be a number in my final answer. And you actually have enough data to finish this problem. What do you think? Who's feeling great? Good.
So it'd just be y equals
Y equals?
negative 2,
Negative 2, parentheses.
Parentheses, x minus 2
Good.
squared plus 5.
You are done. That's your answer. If you checked it, it does have a vertex of 2, 5, because vertex form to that. And if you wanted to see if it actually goes through this point or not, plug it in and test it. As it turns out, 4 minus 2 is 2 squared is 4, plus 5 is 9. So, wait a minute, no, hold on a second. Oh, I'm an idiot, hold on. So, 4 minus 2 is 2, squared is 4, times negative 2 is negative 8, plus 5 is negative 3, and that's 1. In other words, it works. If you graph this on paper, it would go right through 4, negative 3, and it would have a vertex of 2, 5. Does that make sense? That's the type of problem that this last section is going to be asking. Make sense? Let me try another one. I don't want to risk those. I'll try it down here. Example. There's a parabola, I'm going to abbreviate, with x-intercepts of 3 and 7, comma. And it goes through, let me see. Through 4, comma, hang on. Yes, negative 6. Find the equation. So there are two x-intercepts, one at 3 and one at 7, and we know the parabola goes through the point 4, comma, negative 6. Find me the equation. Now start from the beginning. You can take your pick of whichever equation you think would work best. Any recommendations? Wait. X-intercept form. Why? Yeah, it's giving you x-intercepts. This is x1. This is x2. What did they not give you? Yeah. They did not give you A. They did not give the height multiplier. They gave you a random point it goes through, which might be useful. Can somebody tell me what those are, by the way? Mary, help me out. What are these? It's just a random point. It's X and Y. Any random point on the graph is going to be called X, comma, Y. Can somebody construct this one? Yeah, it's a bit work, is that right? Sam, help me out. What form are you going to use? X-intercept form. I'm just going to recopy that. Y equals A parentheses X minus X1 parentheses X minus X2. So what would you do? What would you put for Y? Yes, -6 equals, what would you put for A? Trick question. A. What would you put for X? 4. 4 minus what? 3, the first X-intercept. And then parentheses, what would you put for X? Another 4 minus what? 7. See what we did? All right, Mary Claire, take over. So we've got -6 equals what? A times 1 times -3. Simplify. -6 equals -3A. One more step. Divide by -3. What do you get? Aha. You just found your height multiplier. Go back to the original equation. Remember, X and Y are supposed to be there. But the A, the X1, and the X2 are supposed to be numbers. Can somebody give me the final answer? Go.
Y equals 2 parentheses X minus 3. Parentheses X minus 7, or parentheses again.
Got it. Y equals 2, parentheses X minus 3, parentheses X minus 7. Questions? Doing okay? There is a third method that uses standard form. This one I definitely will push to the next chapter, partially because I want to do a little mini chapter. Last year's book, I have to apologize for the book. We went through matrices last year. The book did not have them. Anybody who had a different program or a different teacher last year probably didn't get matrices last year. So I want to give you a crash course in matrices for like 3 days next week. Well, yeah, that would, wow, that would, after the test. That's what I meant. After the whenever the test happens, after the test, I want to give you like a 1-week crash course in matrices, how to use them, because they actually make a lot of these problems easier. Not to worry about it just yet, but that's one of the reasons why I will be holding the standard form until later, because matrices make that one way, way easier. Can you do it by hand? Yes. Have I done it? Yeah. Was it fun? If you're really in the mood. Otherwise, you know. Questions? This making sense? All right. What do you think of that? That's the last section. There'll be a bunch of problems like that.
We do a vote, is that almost speak for
Votes almost never end well, but.
Do it.
Well, I want to do it. Well, I don't. Well, you're an idiot. Well, I think your mama. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, please don't do that, by the way. That's an example of what not to do. People watching at home, that was not an endorsement. That was, how do people stay in front of the camera? Anyway, I don't want to sway your opinion, but it would kind of be easier on the schedule if we did incorporate this stuff and had a test on Friday.
I don't mind this.
Would everybody mind? Did everybody absolutely have their heart set on Wednesday? It's like, yes, I wanted to get over with on Wednesday doing it. Okay, if you will forgive me, for those of you deep in your heart who are just saying, where's your guys? I'm sorry. I apologize. So here's my schedule. Today is Friday, yes? Okay, so next week. I'm going to have a homework due on Tuesday, so I'm actually going to keep the weekend free for you, unless you really want to do it at a time, in which case I won't stop you. So homework number 1H will be due on Tuesday. And then we will have another practice exam on Wednesday. That one I'm going to let you do in groups. So chapter 1 practice version 2.0. That's a computer science joke. It's going to be on Wednesday. We're going to go over that on Thursday, and then the actual chapter 1 test is on Friday. Okay. Everybody feeling sort of at peace with that? All right. Let me give you the full-fledged notes. There are just a few more, maybe 5 more minutes, and then I'll walk you through the homework. It's on your homework guide sheet. It's 1H, and I'm going to delete a few of the problems because there are a few of the problems that have that big long standard notation. Do you guys have standard form notation?
No, yeah, because they're an econ thing.
Oh, I was thinking about this.
Try this. I'm going to give you one more problem of each. And then I'll give you some time to work. All right, let's try this. Parabola has a vertex of 6, 1. Go ahead and write this down. Gentlemen. Get down. Parabola has a vertex of 6, 1, and there is a point on the parabola of 3, 3. Find an equation. Somebody set it up for me. This is a typical problem you'll get in the homework. Yeah.
Just be vertex.
Give me vertex form. Refresh my memory on that.
Y equals A parentheses x minus h squared plus k.
Yeah, y equals a parentheses x minus h parentheses squared plus k. Again, have those 3 forms memorized. You will definitely need those. Gentlemen. Now, what can we use? What do we do next? Randy, help me out. Is there anything we can plug in so far? Why did I use these as being the exact same? But what, I'm sorry? Actually, I'm sorry. What letters are these, by the way, if it's the vertex?
Oh,
H, K. Excellent. Go ahead and plug those in for me. What I do is I have blank equals blank parentheses blank minus blank parentheses squared plus blank. So just, yeah, I know. So where do you put the H? We've got 1, 2, 3, 5 blanks. Where do you put the H? I'm sorry? The fourth blank, yeah. And where do I put the K? Fifth blank, exactly. Katie, take over. What do I put here? Three. This is X and Y. What do I put here? A, because I don't have a number. And this? 3. Let me see what I did. All right, Nate, take over. What can you do with this mess? This is A, by the way. So what do you do? Do the parentheses first. Go ahead. 3 minus 6 is -3. -3 squared is what? Positive or negative? Positive. Tell me what we have so far. 3 equals what? 9a plus 1. Nice, keep going. Actually, Will, take over.
Subtract.
Good. What do you get so far?
2 equals 9.
Keep going.
So we need to divide by 9.
Correct. Final answer?
A equals 2 over 9.
A equals 2 over 9. That's your height multiplier. It's a weird height multiplier, and it wouldn't be the most fun in the world to graph. I'll show you how to graph it in a second, by the way. Can somebody give me the equation? Megan, come on. 2 over 9. Yes. Got it. Final answer. Stay with me. Good again then? That's the final answer. Now, how do you graph something like that? Well, can somebody refresh my memory about the normal pattern of a parabola? Go.
Up 1 over 1.
Over.
Over 1 up 1.
Yeah, we always do the over first. There's a deliberate reason for that. And then keep going. Over 2 up.
4.
4. So carry this out about 6 or 7 places. Just keep going. Over 3 up. 9. Keep going.
4, 16.
4, 16.
5, 25.
25.
6, 36.
6 and 36. That should be good enough. I normally don't go that far. Why? For mysterious reasons that I'll reveal in about 2 minutes. How do you graph something like this? Where do you start? Place. Where do I start graphing this thing? The vertex. Where is that? Right. You go over to 6, 1. Put it down. And tell me, is this parabola going up or going down? How do you know it's going up? What's positive? The height multiplier, correct, is positive. That means it's opening upward. If that had been negative 2 over 9, it would have been opening downward. How do you graph 2/9? That means the height is 2/9 of its normal height. That's shorter than normal. Tell me how you get those numbers. You might need to multiply by a fraction a bit. Mary, help me out. Which of these do you multiply when you're playing with the height? The up. Give me the first up. It's 2 over 9. Good. Give me the next one. What's 4 times 2 over 9? Very good. 8 over 9. Has everybody got that? 4 times 2 over 9. When you multiply whole number times a fraction, you make the first one a fraction, then just multiply across. What's the next one? Take over. Well, yeah, 18 over 9. By the way, what is that? That reduces. That's 2. That's called insanely lucky. Keep going. Give me another one.
32.
Yeah, 32 over
9.
9. That does not reduce. Sorry. So take over Spencer. What's 25 times 2/9? 50 over 9. Nice. Try the next one. Yeah.
72.
Nice. Does that reduce?
Yes.
It does. To what?
8.
Yep. Which is just 8.
I had to think about that.
Do any of those have a nice answer at all? In your humble opinion? Which ones? When you plugged in a 3 and when you plugged in a 6. Basically it's over 3 up 2. Over 6 up 8. By the way, if you wanted to graph this first one over 1 up 2/9, I won't stop you. Man, is it annoying. It would look like this. You'd have to mark it, let's say this is 6 and this is 1. You would have to do this. You would have to mark 7, comma, 1 and 2/9. Over 1 up 2/3. As long as you label it, I'll let you do it. My old high school math teacher used to say, if you label it, it's legal. But there is an easier way to do it. If you carry the chart down, you'll eventually find numbers that are nice. Does anybody see a pattern as to which ones are nice? Yeah.
Yeah. I remember what I was gonna say.
Okay. Yeah. Multiples of 3. The reason that multiples of 3, you notice what they're dividing by? They're dividing by 9, but when you take the 3 and you're doing the up, you're squaring it. So every multiple of 3 over here is going to be a multiple of 9. So that'll be a good answer. So in other words, if you went over 9, that would be another good one. Over 12, that's another good one. I mean, that would be huge. But what I would do on this one, over 3, up 2. Over, I can count. Over 3, up 2. And honestly, that's actually all you need. As long as you curve it properly. You can get by with a minimum of 3 points on a problem. 5 would make it look nicer, but I think those would go off screen. Like over 6, that'd be over 12. So, does it kind of make sense? So if you're ever called upon to graph a parabola with a weird height multiplier, just carry the over-up chart down, 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 and find some good jumps. You can skip the ones that are bad. Or you can use them if you really love graphic fractions, which I guess is the thing. Questions? All right, take out your homework, please, your books rather. We're looking at 1H. The assignment has 4 problems, 1, 3, 9, and 11 on page 40-something. It's actually 45, 46, 47. Wow. I am going to, oh my golly goobers, hang on a second. I think I might have a worksheet for this. Hang on. Oh, that would be evil.
I wish it were like that, but it's
The light's flashing. I had a computer crash this summer and it took out some stuff. I think this guy's taken out.
Sorry.
That totally. Well, I know when I'm beaten. Now, we're going to keep it as normal. But this is Friday, so this is Monday. Here's what I'm going to do. There is no way on the best day of my life that I could type up a worksheet in 10 minutes. So, you have, it was going to be due on Tuesday anyway. So, I'm just going to have this typed up by Monday, and I'll give you plenty of time to work in proofs on Monday. For the last 13 minutes, as long as you've been such a good audience, it's been a while since I've done one of these.
a medal for extra credit?
For people who've never had me before, I need to explain. Everybody's like, what's everybody freaking out about? I sometimes trot out these things known as mini mysteries. Mini mysteries are where I give you a riddle or a part of a riddle, and you can only ask yes or no questions to find out the answer. And the way I run them is that if anyone in, you all work as a team, and if anyone in here gets the correct answer ultimately, then everyone in here gets +1 on the next chapter test. Now, you're going to have to, hang on a second. I did find one that I did not tell anybody in here before. So you're all on a fair, hang on a second. You're all on a fair, all right, listen up, please. Actually, for those of you listening at home, I'm terribly sorry, but I'm going to do a media blackout on this one. You're going to have to do it in person. But just for your sake, ta-da! Homework 1H is going to be due Tuesday. I'm going to have a homework worksheet ready on Monday. I'll email that to you if you're still not here. That'll be due Tuesday. Practice test version 2 on Wednesday. I'll email that to you if necessary. Chapter 1 test on Friday. I'll email that to you if necessary. So God bless you all. Please get healthy. Bye-bye. Am I hitting the right spot?
I got it.
Oops.